Are you a business owner looking for real advice and input? You're in the right place. From concept to launch to growth, funding, and beyond. Welcome to Startup Hustle with your hosts. One once sold a business for $150 million. The other, the author of $1 Million Bedroom. Here are your hosts of Startup Hustle, Matt DeCourcy and Matt Watson.
And we're back. Another episode of Startup Hustle. Matt DeCourcy here with Matt Watson. Hi, Matt.
What's going on?
Oh, man. Just trying to chill out. Keep it mellow.
I'm on quite a high today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm ready to go, man.
Is it due to your increased consumption of hemp? Because I might have some news for you related to that.
I haven't been eating it. What are you talking about?
You don't eat. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. But I brought some experts in today to talk about one of the most rapidly growing industries. Some find it controversial. Some find it really, really helpful. We're going to talk about all of that. So today we have Humfeld and Danielle Friedrich. Did I say that correctly, Danielle?
Friedrich. Close.
I should have probably asked that ahead of time. They are the founders of HempHaven, and that is a local franchise model that we're going to talk about. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. So we're going to have to inform Matt that the high that he feels today is definitely not from hemp. And why is that?
Hemp is actually non-psychoactive. It only has 0.3% THC in it, so you actually can't get high.
Well, shit, I've been smoking the wrong stuff. Damn it. That explains a lot of things.
Oh, man, I'm not even touching that one, Watson. So, but obviously the whole business, the cannabis business, as some people refer to it, is, well, man, it's changed a lot. I used to live in Colorado before it was legalized there, and they kind of led the charge. And there's a whole lot of things that I think that are understood and probably a lot more that aren't.
Oh, I would agree. Even as a business aspect, we still get told no more than we get told yes because of the cannabis industry.
Right.
I just lost online processing for like the 5th time.
Credit card processing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So can we start there? What is the difference between cannabis and hemp?
So you basically, cannabis is, you think of corn, right? And you have 3 species of corn basically when you grow corn. Cannabis is the top, and then you have marijuana and you have hemp. So you look at cannabis is both, and then you have marijuana, and then you have hemp that only is industrial. So you can do, you're talking about kind of 2 industrial hemps. Hemp that you can grow for CBD, and then you have true industrial hemp that's probably going to take over everything. Lego just put out today that they're going to do all their Legos with hemp. Now that's pretty amazing.
Because they're more recyclable? Is that the thing?
And then we'll probably do all the paper, we'll do concrete, we're going to do fuel, biofuel with hemp. I mean, hemp's going to really take over. There's already housing additions that are being built completely with hemp.
Well, and that's something too. So like, hemp, like she mentioned, I mean, Matt, you've been smoking the wrong flower, buddy. But it's something that kind of got thrown under the bus with marijuana prohibition, which happened in when was that? That came with alcohol and all that other stuff.
1937 was when they took hemp away from us.
Right.
So I still don't fully understand. So you have marijuana and you have hemp, and it's just, are they completely different plants or almost the same plant, just a different species
take them like
of the same
cousins.
plant?
They're basically, like you have sweet corn and you have feed corn. Kind of the same thing.
Do they look the same?
Yeah, they smell the same, they look the same, they grow the same. CBD hemp is grown, short and stocky?
Short and stocky, yeah.
Okay.
And he's actually going to be doing an indoor grow with hemp here soon in Missouri, and that will be grown completely different because we'll be growing it just for seed and flower. So that'll be grown tall, just like marijuana. And if you guys ever come out and visit, it will look just like hemp or just like marijuana. It will smell just like marijuana and be basically grown.
So
just like
why
marijuana.
does hemp have these different properties than any other kind of plant?
One of the big differences in the two, though, is the THC level.
Right.
So
yeah,
in
I
order
get that
to be
part.
marijuana, it has to be over 20%.
I get that part.
So with hemp, it's, I guess I'm confused. Where did we miss?
It's just seed generated differently.
Okay.
We were talking about like hemp is going to be used in construction or in plastic or whatever.
Dude, it does all different kinds of stuff.
50,000 different things.
But why hemp versus any other plant? What's different about hemp?
Because the stalk of hemp can do so many amazing things.
It's just stronger?
It's kind of like bamboo.
Okay, it's more like bamboo.
Kind of, yeah.
And it's a weed. It grows really easily, really
grows
quickly.
Fast.
It's fast.
Like bamboo is very fast.
Dude,
Yes.
many of our former presidents were hemp farmers, which is something that has always been kind of a running joke.
Yeah.
In the world of marijuana and hemp and cannabis, is like what was like Thomas Jefferson was like and I don't know, a lot of those guys grew it because you could you make it into rope and just different kinds of stuff, and then from like the biofuel, like dude, there's just a lot of stuff.
So it's the stalks that are the really valuable part then?
Yeah, well, it's kind of both.
Not necessarily the leaves, it's the stalk.
You can use the biomass, you can use the stalk, you can use the flower, you can use the seed.
For different purposes.
Oh yeah, so hemp even has pretty much is the only complete protein on the market right now. It has all your omega-3s, all your omega-6s. So go back to what 19...
So I should be eating it.
Actually, you should. So that's why hemp is so important, because back in 1937, we have an endocannabinoid system in every mammal. Because back in the day, they used to feed our cows, our chickens, everything with hemp.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So what Henry Ford made, was it Henry Ford that made a hemp car? And that was one of the first ones. And so you take it away, and now our endocannabinoid system has been dormant. And so they're doing all this research now saying that autoimmune diseases are caused by lack of cannabinoids, and that's because they took hemp away from us.
So how does that compare to other parts of the world? Or other parts of the world use hemp more than we do?
Oh, the UK is very big into hemp. They're actually the only one that has a machine that can grow it down. I think we have one in the U.S. now.
Yeah, they actually have some type of combine system over there that can harvest it.
Really
because
farm it.
now, because what happens is the header on the combine has to be able to move up and down because the plants grow at different heights.
Mm-hmm.
So the combines that we have here can't do it. So they're testing out some other ones overseas, and hopefully we'll get some here. Luckily, we're connected with some farmers that know some people within John Deere that are hoping to be one of the first farmers in the state to have this new device.
I'm learning all sorts of things today. This is fascinating.
Yeah, but like I said, the plant in general got victimized by the prohibition of the version of it that does create a sense of intoxication. And with it, that's been a hot topic for a long time.
But is that also what's revitalizing hemp?
Well, yeah. Well,
like
the thing
now
is,
that marijuana is on the rise,
you weren't allowed to grow hemp.
Is that dragging?
Yeah, you weren't allowed.
Oh, you weren't allowed to grow it?
No. So it fell under that prohibition because of the close relation of the two. And isn't okay? So it's the female cannabis plant that actually produces the THC in the volumes we need, right?
That's correct.
So is hemp the male version, or is hemp sterile, or is there something?
They're all female, which is pretty amazing, because the plant, once you get to know it, there's like 419 or 20-something cannabinoids that can be produced in this plant. And the male, all it does, it's just like us as humans. All the male does is pollinate it.
Useless.
I think it's
totally useless. The male plant is useless.
I think it's fascinating that plants are male and female.
Yeah.
Because like I have a holly bushes in my yard, and it's the same thing. One has berries and one doesn't. And one's male and one's female.
I'll tell you what,
it's so weird.
Everything's got to be so sexist anymore.
Yeah,
why can't we all just get along? Why can't the plants all just get along?
So hemp has the same issue today. So it can only be grown in like certain states.
No,
right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's federally legal. Back in December.
It's federally legal.
President Trump signed the newest farm bill that makes hemp legal.
President Trump does good things.
Right.
Which was important for us too, because Missouri was on a...
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
And by the way, you might want to retract that. I don't want our listeners thinking that you're a Trump supporter.
He did a good thing. He did a good thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll leave it singular. Thanks.
Yeah.
For the cannabis industry, that
he
might have been
thing.
one really good
He
thing.
did. It's good, and it's good for a lot of farmers too, because farmers are looking for a new crop.
I
mean, they need it.
We always joke about that. We're in the state of Kansas. We're in agriculture. But we don't grow hemp. We don't grow marijuana.
What's cool is we are now, so we will get a license. We'll be growing in Missouri, but Lexington, Missouri, have you guys heard of the Battle of the Bales and the Civil War?
No.
So that's pretty cool. I think Missouri and Kansas grew more hemp than anywhere else in the United States back in the day. Weston, before they were tobacco farmers, grew hemp. Lexington, Missouri, I think the whole town, Jay, correct me, went through for a hemp license because they had the Battle of the Bales over hemp.
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
The whole town got together and was going to apply for a license, because prior to President Trump signing the farm bill, they were going to have it where they only had 2,000 acres that we were going to allow for the state. So the whole city was coming together with the mayor saying, hey, let's all do this. It'll be good for our economy. We'll do tours. We'll do tours of the farms. And I mean, it's a really big thing. It's coming back. I mean,
so let's talk about being a cannabis startup, because hemp, cannabis, whatever. Let's just we've done a little definition here. There's a relationship.
I've been educated. Thank you.
We're going to really educate you later. We're going to make you try all the different kinds.
Ooh.
Yeah. So our meetings this afternoon could be interesting.
Okay, at 4:20, right?
Yes,
right,
correct.
yeah,
Wow, I'm
you.
shocked you knew that, Matt. Wow. Did you study before this? Okay. I could have come over last night and helped you study, but anyway, take that as you may. So HempHaven is a franchise system and model that you guys have launched that's FTC compliant. So
Correct.
What's up with that?
So we started a franchise about a year ago, and actually, to back up, it was never our plan to start a franchise.
Okay.
We were going to open up one store and just segue into a medical marijuana dispensary, because that just seems the easiest way. Right?
That was my next question, if that was part of
Seems
it.
like the CBD oil people maybe are all planting
Right.
seeds for the same
Right,
thing.
because it's
Well, you're a
it's-
logical option at that
Yeah,
point.
You're
yeah.
a gateway into that. You think
Yeah.
that
It's a
you're gonna
gateway
build,
drug.
Yeah, you're going to build your reputation and your clientele as a trusted resource. But what we found is, based on the business model that we put together, we were starting to get people that were coming to us and saying, hey, do you guys franchise? Do you guys franchise? And we again, never in the wheelhouse. So we started, I think after a month and a half of being open, we signed our first franchise. And since that time, we have 9 stores open, and we have a few more coming. And basically, it's been a pain. It's been a very big. It's been a challenge, because we hear no more than we hear yes.
Yeah.
So even
in the world of sales, that's common.
It is.
That doesn't surprise me.
it is, but
Yeah.
it's at a different level.
Oh,
now.
sure.
I mean, just even trying to get a rental, like a retail space, right? Landlords, no, and they think that we're in this big cannabis. We're going to come in with all these bongs and all this stuff, and that's not the case. If you've been to any of our stores, you'll see that it's very laid back, very modern, very kind of zen-ish.
Okay.
And we don't have all that stuff. And
So
just-
where are your stores currently?
So we have stores in Kansas City and the Kansas City Metro. So we're all around the Metro right now.
All in Missouri?
No, we have 3 in Kansas, and then we have some guys that are signing, I believe, at the end of the week or early next week. We're going to be coming up to Iowa. We got some people that are looking at paperwork in Wisconsin and Florida. So by us becoming FCC compliant franchises, one of only 3 that are out there, we're now going national and trying to get as many stores as possible.
A lot of our listeners are not in Kansas City, but for those who are, what part of Kansas City are you in?
So we're in Overland Park, we're in Shawnee, we're in Lee Summit, Liberty, Kansas City proper down in the Crossroads.
All right.
Field trip?
Overland
Everywhere.
Park, Gladstone, Northland, we're all over.
Wow.
Okay, so when
Very
you say
cool.
FTC compliant, let's the Federal Trade Commission. That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
What is that? So, what does that entail?
It means that it essentially means
Because technically a lot of this stuff. So, is hemp and CBD with that Farm Act in December? Did that remove the prohibition on that nationally or federally?
It should have, but just like I was saying, I lost all my online processing because they classify us under cannabis. I don't care that we're under the federal farm bill. This is how, like Square.
Well, did the
for
Farm Bill
instance.
just cover people that were growing it? Because
That's what they say.
that wouldn't shock me. Like the government's like, hey, you can grow it, and then they don't give you anywhere to sell it.
You're exactly right. So Square's doing a
Shocker.
beta program, I guess, for online processing. And I said, well, how, if we're kind of under the federal farm bill, we're growing CBD hemp, why can't we sell CBD hemp? And they're like, well, we don't really know.
You're not sure yet.
They just don't want to take the risk. That's the thing.
You're exactly right.
Well, I
Just don't
mean,
take the
it's
risk.
climate. I mean, part of the issue.
We're going to start a new business.
Well, part of the issue, no doubt.
Credit card processing.
Please.
You'd kill it. You'd kill it.
Yeah, it would be a giant pain in the ass too.
Yeah, I know, right.
But
But here's another thing, though. So we went to a local bank, and we tried to open up a business bank account for our farming side of our business, and they said it was going to be under review for 3 to 5 days. They turned us down, and I said, why? And like, well, because we don't stand behind CBD. And I'm like, well, you don't know that we're growing CBD. We're just growing hemp. You're making
They don't know the
an
difference.
assumption that
Yeah.
we're just going to be growing this stuff. And they're like, yeah, we don't do that.
We're
And they-
making rope.
Yeah, and the problem is, though, is that this is a billion-dollar industry, and all these banks and all these credit card processing companies, all these places, they're losing it. They're losing out on this.
So with that, and this is where businesses like yours might see a huge windfall. So the marijuana is federal, even though states have legalized it, it's federally not legal.
That's right.
Even though it was Obama, I believe, that first said, he's like, yeah, but we're not going to prosecute you.
Right.
Thank you, Barry. But with that, all these big publicly traded companies, like you look at Philip Morris or like the tobacco people, they can't even enter it. They can't have anything to do with it because they have to be SEC compliant.
Right,
and you can't have your hands in something that is on any level federally illegal. So my opinion is eventually, they repeal this. I think that's what Trump's going to do right
before
the next election.
How he's going to get reelected.
Yeah, I've had that opinion for a while.
You're so excited.
I think that's going to...
I agree.
I mean, fuck. I don't know if the trade-off, if I'm cool with that. I mean, could I wait 4 more years on that and not have Trump? I don't know. We're not supposed to talk about politics, but God, it's so hard. So, but with that, you guys and the people that have established brands, so you look at the different products that are sold, like we'll look at Colorado. So I was out there. I actually went to a dispensary and made a purchase. Not afraid to admit it. I was in a state where it was legal, and I was like, man, I've just always wanted to go to a dispensary and buy weed, so I did. Right?
Of course. It's on the bucket list.
I have a picture of it. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here you go. You heard it first. But, I mean, that's not a big surprise. I mean, that's like, honestly, we were talking before we recorded. That's just like going to a liquor store in most states. Like, it's a normal thing. So, especially in Colorado.
Yeah, I agree.
So, with that, I think these big companies are going to come pouring into the market
eventually.
Because here's the thing and good for you guys if that comes down to it, because they're going to want ready
market
access.
They're going to buy up market share,
and they're going to because they are literally sitting on the sidelines, and some of them are even doing investments in like Canadian companies, and they've just different stuff because they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're probably just sitting there like punching themselves in the face, going, God, why can't we get into this? But I mean, you'll probably buy marijuana cigarettes at Quick Trip at some point.
The cigarette companies have already invested just waiting because it's not going to be long, you said.
Right.
Not to bring up politics again, but I think Trump will do it for his 2020 re-election.
Do you agree with me on that?
I totally.
Yeah,
I think that's why it's not done yet.
Yeah, I hear.
I think that
he's got to make a splash.
Yep.
So a few months ago, I was in Jefferson City.
By the way, I hope he does that and then loses.
Yeah.
As long as it passes.
Yeah.
That's all we care about.
I was in Jefferson City testifying in front of some of the state representatives about lifting the acreage cap for growing hemp. And one of the representatives said, well, you guys do know that once all these big companies get on board, that they're just going to come in and buy all you guys out.
Thank
you.
And
he said it like it offended us. I'm
Cash
like,
checks.
Okay.
Cash checks.
Kind of what we're looking for. So I absolutely see it happening that way.
And that's fine.
So right now there is a 2,000 acre limit. Is that what you mentioned?
In Missouri.
Yeah.
In Missouri.
Yeah.
Is that total? Like the whole state?
Yeah, it was for just they were going to do like a pilot program.
Who even
for
polices how many acres of that there is?
Well, a lot of people. So, all right. So before we started recording, I was sharing with Danielle and Jay. So much like yourself, Matt, people ask me to be advisors in businesses a lot. Last year, I got offered to be an advisor, actually it was 2017, not last year, in 3 different cannabis-related businesses. I turned them all down, but one of the issues was, one of them was in Oregon. Mm-hmm. And so I learned a whole lot, and I got offered a pretty significant part for free to help them build their business structurally. And I started diving in, and the amount of regulation, so they have these rules, I think they called it from seed to stem or something like that. So like they literally, like here's a seed, and when they drop it in the dirt, it's like got a barcode. It has to be on closed circuit camera video the whole time. Like there's never at any point, at least in Oregon, where that is not under careful monitoring.
Our government is so helpful.
But here's the problem: is the cost, and I didn't participate in that business because one, Oregon didn't have any limitations on production or any of that, or who could come in and do it. And as a result, now 2 years later, they have a huge supply and demand problem. Right. They have way more, and because it's illegal on a federal level, they can't move it from one place to another. So it has to stay within Oregon, and it's created a huge problem. But the cost of regulation for, say, a pound of whatever is equal to the cost of producing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is nuts,
So-
you know, and that's a problem.
So tell us a little more about your guys' farming that you're doing. So do you guys have like a couple acres, or how much, and then do you guys do you have to have like a lot of licensing and reporting
Yeah, how
and
do you
things like
get it?
this?
How do you get it? I mean,
Yeah.
how do we become hemp farmers in Missouri?
So with the President Trump lifting the farm bill on it and saying that it's now federally legal, the application is pretty much just a checkbox application at this time.
Okay.
So you just got to meet the minimum requirements, pass the background check. Fortunate for me, we teamed up with another guy that owns a bunch of land, and what we're doing is we're putting up a bunch of hoop houses that are about, I think they're 30 by 100 or 50 by 100 and something like that. We're putting up 2 hoop houses. The nice
So you have
thing
to
is,
grow it indoors?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even with marijuana, you're going to want to start indoors.
It's better.
Yeah, it's better. So we're going to be starting indoors, and the growth cycle on it, we're looking at about 3.5 months. So
Okay.
I can get a harvest in about 3.5 months. So our initial plan is to get these 2 houses up and running. Hopefully get some seeds in the ground within the next probably 6 weeks. I just spent a lot of money yesterday on ordering the final components for the hoop houses. Now we just got to get them built. So if Mother Nature will quit raining on us, where we can get back out there in the fields and get them built.
But do you
we'll
have
go.
any of these issues around like tracking how you plant it and all that?
Not
like,
so much in
anything
the
like
seed,
that?
not so much in the hemp side of it,
Okay.
because it's a federally legal crop. It's the
Okay.
marijuana stuff that we've heard that we're definitely going to have some challenges
Missouri
with.
is going to be that way, seed to sale too.
I know
Yeah.
some guys that in Illinois, which is a little further progressed with their legal adoption,
Yeah.
just opened a big hemp farm. I mean, it's big.
So hemp has to be grown indoors, or is it just because of our climate?
No, it kind of depends on what type of hemp you're growing. If you're going to grow industrial hemp, pretty much all your hemp that you're going to grow, you're going to start indoors to kind of protect it a little bit and kind of control the flowering of it. But if you're going to start growing industrial hemp, that stuff can get upwards of 8+ feet high. So that stuff you'll eventually move outside after a month or so of growing it.
By
Is
the
it-
way, before we get too deep into this, where can our listeners learn more about HempHaven? Is it hemphaven.com?
It's hemphaven.store. We
.store.
switched it up a little bit, which is
Oh.
kind of a challenge because not all of our email addresses work when we're signing up for stuff because they
They'll
haven't updated
eventually
their
figure
system.
it out. Yeah. We're fullscale.io, and I still tell people, they're like, I didn't even, what is that? I'm like, it's a suffix.
Indian Ocean.
It's a
Yeah.
suffix. And you can put it.
That's really
it's
what it
just
is.
like .net or
Everybody's so
whatever.
used to .com that they forget
Yeah.
about
Well, we
you
ran
can-
out of .coms.
I
Is
know.
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we're not going to run out of anytime soon? Hemp.
No.
So are you guys looking to expand your franchises all over the U.S.?
We are. We're looking to become one of the biggest franchises in the country. Some of our competitors, coincidentally, our biggest competitor is located here out of Kansas City as well. But
Oh.
we feel that we have
Is
a
that
better
Shaman?
business. Yeah, I feel
Are
we.
they from here?
Yeah, they're actually.
That's a
they're,
Kansas City company? Because I wondered why. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just be realistic. We don't have to plug your competition, but they have a lot of locations.
They
seem
do.
Like
They
We
everywhere.
have 36 locations in the metro area,
Jeez.
which has hurt our industry,
Sure.
actually.
It's
Oversaturated.
so saturated.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, so they're.
But that's a Kansas City, and they're
Yeah.
from here.
And they're franchises
Interesting.
too?
well,
Yeah.
let me tell you, they
But you guys are
bottle
the
in
ones here
Kansas
on
City.
Startup Hustle today
is
with
right.
us, so we're gonna say hemphaven.store.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So their corporate office is just a couple doors down from us. They have a lot of stores around the country too. The difference is I believe that our business plan is much better than theirs, and it's simply because if you
Can you buy a franchise from? Is that like individual franchises, or do they own all their own stores?
they own it to an extent. Obviously,
Sure.
they pay for the franchise, and there's a royalty and stuff
Gotcha.
that comes and play with it. But the difference is with our franchise, what makes our store step out is we've only been in business a year, and we've been voted 3 times already best. We're nominated for best Kansas City CBD store, right? And that may not mean a lot, but the first one we got was after 2 months, and
Sure
I think
it
it's
does.
because our business model is you can't have just one product. Because if you come in and you try one product and you don't like that product, you're never going to come back to my store. Right now at our store, we have over 50 different brands on our store. So if you don't
Wow.
like something, we give you something
So you
else.
don't grow them all, you don't make them all.
No,
you resell a lot of different stuff.
We resell. We've kind of
I
taken.
bet you got the dog biscuits.
Oh, we got
I
a
hear
ton of
those are the big deal.
And actually, our
Dog biscuits.
When did you become so informed on this topic,
Yeah,
dude?
you know.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
last night around 10:30, I
My
got
sister
an email.
You
sells-
don't even
My
have a-
sister
you don't even
sells
have-
this
You don't
stuff.
even have a dog.
My sister sells the stuff. She
Your
works at a
sister
convenience
sells
store.
hemp biscuits for dogs.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So
They're big.
They're big.
Big deal.
Last night I got an email from somebody wanting to know if we can have extra hours over 4th of July because we sell out of all of our pet products over 4th of July because of all the banging and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, see?
it's
See?
pretty
You're
crazy.
learning something today, man.
But here's the problem with I'm going to come back to our store, but I want to touch on this. The problem with convenience stores and the grocery stores and all these people that are selling it, they're selling overpriced product and it's not good quality stuff. So when you go in and you buy this $80 bottle that's maybe 250 milligrams of CBD, you try it, it doesn't work, you have a bad taste in your mouth, and I'm never going to get that customer back in my store because they're not going to come in and buy it. They had a bad experience with it. That is the biggest issue I see with those places. So we're actually
Is that because it's an unregulated market too,
Yeah,
and like the
I think
quality
so.
isn't regulated, and it's
Yeah, and
might be snake oil and not be
That's
CBD
one
oil?
of the challenges this industry has to overcome is, and there's a lot of press about that.
There
Like
is.
I saw something that was like, your weed might not be as sticky as you think it is.
Right,
And
these people, they don't know.
It's like olive oil is the same way.
Right.
It's not really olive
that's
oil.
the problem of a fragmented industry. Like and I'm not a big fan of like federal control of everything, but at the same time, in some industries, it does produce a level of compliance or standards that people need to meet. It's not always a bad thing. It's the intention is for it to.
It's consumer protection. Like
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
go buy
yeah.
extra virgin olive oil, it better be extra virgin olive oil.
Right.
But it's not.
I'm not touching that one.
But it's so true.
That's a similar. It's a similar problem though.
But it's true.
It's the same kind of problem.
But it is. But it also comes
Same
down
with
to education.
supplements.
It comes down to education too. These people in these gas stations and grocery stores, they don't know the product. They don't know the endocannabinoid system. Where we pride ourselves on, we have former nurses that work at our store. We have multiple nurses. We have cannabis nurses. We have people that have gone and gotten certified in other states to educate our people. We have more brands than any of our competitors.
we can trust you to sell a quality product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Okay, so HempHaven.store. By the way, if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, at Startup Hustle Podcast, we are following the HempHaven. So if you want to
Perfect.
just check us out and see who we're following, we don't follow a whole lot of people. So I think you guys are like the 36th one. Yeah, we're trying to be cool and exclusive in that regard. But yeah,
Podcast got a lot cooler today.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And, it's funny, we were talking about birthdays. Today is Full Scale's birthday.
Oh yeah, that's
The
right.
company Matt and I started, you talk about only being in business for a year, but today is the first, and
That's right.
this will come out
Happy
after
birthday,
the birthday.
dude.
Thanks. Happy birthday to you, too. And happy birthday to the 180 people that work for us a year
that's
later.
crazy.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been busy. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's crazy. You guys have been busy, too. I like it. So, all right. So if I want to open a HempHaven location, and I might, what do I get with that? Like, obviously, like in most franchise models, there's some help.
Right.
The reason franchises succeed over and above a traditional startup is that they come with an owner's manual in a
Yep.
way. Like there's some experience, some guidance, and some stuff like that, easy access to distribution channels and stuff like that. So if I open a HempHaven location, which I don't see one here in Leawood, that would probably be a challenge, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been.
we've tried.
I'll call the mayor.
Yeah, I will too.
Both of them.
So with that, so if I buy a franchise, I mean, what happens next? What do I get with that?
Well, before that, we get you in touch with, we actually have a franchise developer that works with us, and she kind of vets the candidates to make
Okay.
sure that they're able to do it, that they have the financial backing to do it. We're not just going to sign up anybody to open up a store.
What do
So-
you guys, and we don't have to get too deep into this, but I mean, what are you guys looking for in that? I mean, what
Like, what does it
if I
cost?
want to open a McDonald's, I got to have like $3 million liquid and some crazy stuff
Yeah,
like that.
no,
Like,
we're substantially less than that. I think that all in, worst case scenario, your landlord doesn't do any of your build out. You got to have all your marketing money. Worst absolute case scenario, you'd probably be around $100,000.
yeah, that's not bad.
You know, and that's worst. I mean, all of our stores that have opened so far haven't even hit that figure
Sure.
yet. But once you get open, we have a week training for some people now that we just implemented a new training program where if you live out of the KC metro area, you'll come in and you'll stay in a hotel for a couple days. We'll be in our store. We'll train you. We'll get you up and running with a marketing team, kind of some business coaching. We kind of teach you everything you need to know to run your business. But I cannot stress this enough, and I tell all of our new candidates this, and I tell all of our new stores this. It is not our job to run your store.
Yeah.
And that's a big misconception that a lot of people get when they open up a franchise, is that we're going to come in and run your store. And that's not our job. Our job is to build a business that is successful and works, and it's your job to take our direction and sell it.
Dude, I think we got a store.
Look
Look at this.
I'm looking at all this Supreme money.
Yeah,
They
we got a
came with
store.
our
Are those
money
like
gun.
Dwight Bucks?
Yeah, they're pretty close. I think that
Shroot bucks, that
yeah.
is?
Oh no, anything with the Supreme logo is worth like 100 times more. So yeah,
Oh,
that's worth a lot of money.
Sweet.
So
Yeah.
is this
There's
what you're
2
using
stores.
to open your franchise?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, if you can count all these, because I don't have a lot of faith in your accounting system that I just witnessed. And by the way, we're going to use this as a break to play mixtape.
All right.
Because mixtape might be a good mix when it comes to hemp-related things. Okay, so mixtapethegame.com. I'm going to read a scenario. We're all going to pick a song.
Dude, I heard we get to play the digital version next week.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I tried to
I'm
play the
super
digital
excited.
version last night. It needs a little work.
All right.
We're getting there.
We'll get there.
We're getting there. So, all right. The best song for riding a beach cruiser down Venice Beach Boardwalk.
Where's Venice
Oh,
Beach?
wait. We already used that.
gonna
We
say,
played that. Sorry.
That was yesterday.
Scratch that. Sorry, my bad. The best song for an 80s aerobics class. And I'm old enough to rock this category, people.
I'm going with Footloose.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm going with Rex and Effect.
Okay. What are you dropping?
The
No,
mic.
I'm bad at this.
I'm going with Physical by Olivia Newton-John, which was probably the 80s original song.
I agree. I can't
Are you
even
drawing
think
a blank?
Yeah. I can't
And
even
the
think
first
of one.
thing that comes to mind.
And what was his name?
I was thinking of Janet Jackson, but I can't think of a good song that
Now,
she would do
if
because
you
that's what I would
can't-
think of
If
working
you can't
out
think
to.
of the name, you are allowed to sing it.
Yeah.
Much
Oh,
like-
please do.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we encourage that. Jay,
Or Paula- I actually
do you wanna
did walk
do you want to
out to
buy
Paula
her some
Abdul.
time
Ooh,
and
Paula
sing yours?
Abdul.
But
No,
I can't think
don't.
of any.
Straight up, yeah, straight
There
up.
you
There
go.
you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is
That's
exciting
Paula
today.
Abdul.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
Paula
said. I
Abdul.
used to work
Straight up
out
now,
to
tell
her.
me.
Legitimately.
This is exciting. We have
Do you really want to love me forever?
That was pretty good.
because we have 4 votes today.
Nailed
this
it.
is more exciting.
Nailed it.
All right, good job. Good job.
So, for those of you listening, yes, I know I have the voice of an angel. All right, so we picked. What was yours again?
I did Rex and Effect. What is that? Zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Ooh. Zoom, 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 and a boom,
And I had
boom.
let's
Just
get
shake your butt.
physical, physical.
Zoom, 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 and a
I
boom,
wanna
boom.
get physical.
All right, I got Footloose.
Let me hear your body talk, Matt.
Oh my god. And what was yours?
Mine was straight up from Paula Abdul, right?
Straight up. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going with Jay. You can't vote for yourself, by the way. Going with Jay. You got my vote.
All right, I'm gonna go with you.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Rex and Effects.
I am too.
Oh, we got a winner! Winner! Woo!
Man.
Good job, Jay.
Sweet. You want to fire the money gun?
It's not even in here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got it!
It is.
Wait, we need that money to open our
I know,
franchise.
exactly. We determined that the money gun is the fastest way to get your business funded. Go ahead. It's all you,
What
buddy.
do I do? Just shoot
You
it?
just, yeah,
At
it's
who?
pretty, wherever you want.
Yeah, the problem with getting funding is it usually doesn't work.
That's gonna say-
There we go.
Oh! It's raining money.
That's pretty
And
cool.
there you go. I'm not sure that meets the minimum capital requirements to open a HempHaven store, but it is a step in the right direction.
But you know what that will get you? A couple grams of raw CBD flower in our store.
Boom.
Wow. And what would I do with that?
Smoke it. It's our best seller.
Or
Really? You
bake with
smoke it?
By
Oh,
the way,
yeah.
I find that, oh man, dude.
Our flower bar is legit.
you
I didn't realize that people smoked CBD.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a lot left.
Yeah, there you go.
So it has like the same medicinal effects that people get the oil for and stuff. You just smoke
Yeah.
it instead.
See,
It's
that's our
actually
flower
better
bar.
because it has all the terpenes. So you
Oh,
know,
when you said flour, I was thinking like flour,
like
like
baking.
Oh,
flour.
baking flour.
Yeah, but flowers, I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of the term. I saw this on your guys' Instagram. So, you know what's crazy is, I mean, that looks like sticky, icky weed.
And it
Dang.
smells like it.
It just doesn't get you high?
No, the
Weird.
first time that was delivered to our store, I opened the bag up and I went, shit, the cops are coming.
But on the medicinal
like I
side,
thought it was completely illegal.
I ask people, what do you consider high, right?
That's a good point.
I was not a cannabis user in college or anything, so on the medical side, I've been in the medical field my whole life as well. If you ask somebody in my store, what do you consider high? Like, what's that feeling to you, right? So
we're gonna have to find out today, I guess.
Right. So I tell a lot of
I'll
people.
be over later tonight.
Yeah. Smoking CBD hemp, you get more of the medicinal side of it for anything. Well, you've had a stressful day, you go smoke a little CBD hemp, and it relaxes you. It will give you that body buzz that a lot of people feel when they smoke weed, but it will not give you the psychoactive effects of smoking weed.
Interesting.
Which a lot of people don't like because...
So then should people smoke CBD instead of regular cigarettes? Is it sort of a...
Absolutely.
Yeah, we sell a ton of hemp cigarettes.
Okay.
It's just straight hemp. Yeah.
See, I have to be honest. I've never used CBD, and when I see like CBD places on every...
You've never used weed?
No, so when I see CBD places on every street corner, and now every grocery store has it, and every convenient, I'm like, this shit's snake oil.
Yeah.
That's the
but
perception
it's
I
not,
get. But then I
well,
do run into people like, oh no, it really helps this and it really helps
let's
that.
talk about that.
But the perception I get is it's like sort of cures everything and it's snake oil.
Well, no, the perception, you get that perception because there's a lot of people out there that are like, I was joking with Danielle before we started. So I talked to my buddy. He was actually the guy that is opening a hemp farm in Illinois, and he had tinnitus. He had ringing in his ear. And I was like, dude, did you rub some CBD in it? You know, like,
yeah.
I overcome that every day because people come in, and I had a guy come in and he needs a total knee replacement, period. I think.
Yeah, CBD will not fix that.
CBD's not going to fix it. Like if I give him some pain cream, it will help the pain, but it's not going to fix your total knee replacement. And that's what I overcome. That's why we have a doctor that works in one of our stores, and we have nurses, and we have me that's been in the medical field, because you're exactly right. Most people think that. Now that it's sold everywhere, they're like, well...
One of my crazy girlfriends tried it, and it did not help her crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it can't fix crazy.
No.
No, but
stupid.
But we get stuff every day.
That's really specific, dude. Sorry.
We get.
I've had a few girlfriends.
Yeah, that's my
That are
point.
crazy.
That's a long story.
We get the testimonials every day on this stuff, but you're right. I mean,
Now there are a lot of people that I know some. All right, so my mom has dementia, and there are medical studies that have shown that CBD. So, and we won't get into the whole science of dementia, but there are legit like scientific studies that's shown that. Because one of the things is your body makes a lot of these substances naturally, and the lack of some of them cause that stickiness in between the neurons that cause things to not fire. So CBD is showing, and it was really hopeful. And a buddy of mine who is in your guys' business was really excited to send me these things. Now my mom's pretty far gone in that regard. I mean,
it
she
has
doesn't know who I am.
actually changed my life. I actually have a personal story. I mean, I lost my sister, and about 2 years after I started having, let's be honest, I had anxiety that I never had before. And they put me on an SSRI, like they do everybody, right?
What's that?
They put me on Zoloft.
Okay.
Yeah.
SSRI.
Which I've taken Zoloft for a long time.
Okay. Is that a reuptake inhibitor? Is that what that stands for?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have ADD. Wait,
Yeah.
what? What did you say?
Yeah.
Squirrel!
Shiny things?
And see, I'm off everything now because I treat myself with cannabis.
Sure.
So do you like, how do you take it? Do you smoke it or use the oil? Or?
So I do my oil in the morning. I will smoke it, and then I will do a gummy. Like if
So when you do the oil, what do you do with the oil?
So we have...
You like rub it all over your face?
Oh, you could.
What do you do with it?
We have sublingual, because obviously anything sublingual is going to hit your mucous membranes.
So you eat it?
Well, you put it on your tongue and you hold it there for 30 seconds. Or we have water solubles. We have, pretty much now with, like you said, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's everywhere, and it's in
we have
anything.
Inhalers, you can vape it. The inhalers, we sell a ton of those too. Gummies, tinctures, lotions. Again,
Tinctures
we
is
get
just
success.
like liquid you put
on
under
your
tongue. According to a friend of mine.
I've thought about, so I have a son. My son's almost 10, and he suffers with anxiety, depression issues, and he is actually on Zoloft. And him and his mom and I have thought about trying CBD to see if it would help him. He's 10, and we haven't tried it yet, but
it's changed my life. I got to the point where it was even hard for me. I love to travel and I love to be adventurous, but it was even taking that away from me, and now I have it all back.
That's awesome.
And to be honest too, we live together, we work together, so we're together all the time. We can tell when the other person has not taken their CBD.
It never works when you tell them that, though.
No,
I don't recommend that.
I'm like, you didn't take your CBD today. Now leave me alone. So I'm like, yeah, I know. Here it comes.
So I had
that
that
would drive me nuts. Cause
I did that with my 10-year-old this morning.
Once again, an ADD person, I still take medication for it. Like I'm a legit ADD
So is Jay.
Yeah, I'm too.
And that's fine. Like, I actually wouldn't give it back. It gives me a motor and a sense of drive and energy that is just, it's not there. But like you said, my mom, when I was a kid, she'd be like, "Did you take your pill?" And I'd be like, "Fuck you, Mom!" Yeah. I'm like, and then I clearly needed to take it, but that's the way it would go. So,
well, and not to get too off topic on that, but I have it too, and I think CBD helped out quite a bit for ADHD. But we sell another product in our store called Kratom, and that I'm completely off all my meds because by taking those two things, I'm good to go.
Which is really controversial right now.
You talk about the medicinal uses and stuff like that, and all right. So when I was younger, I used to smoke weed a lot. Not super regular with that anymore, but occasionally it's not the worst thing. One of the reasons that I quit using it regularly is it just does kind of make me tired the next day. That seemed to happen as I got older. And I was
Microdosing THC is phenomenal. I don't recommend, for
I don't
me,
ever really do anything in small doses.
Yeah.
Is my problem.
and that's why marijuana gets a bad name, because people will smoke a whole joint and they'll be just like, really tired.
I couldn't do that either, but and there were some, and it's interesting. So I was sharing with you earlier, my next book came out, that I wrote it with the keyboardist from Humphreys McGee. They just actually partnered. They have their own line.
Oh wow!
Stuff. They have a couple products so they just played at Red Rocks 3 nights last weekend,
that's awesome.
and filled the place up 3 nights in a row. But with that, they had some announcements.
They were probably selling it at the concert.
Well, I don't think they can, but they had an event at whatever. They have their own beer there too, so why not go all in? So
it's cool that they started at their own line, because one of the things we see too is there's hundreds of CBD brands and companies that are out there.
Well, but those companies need a way to differentiate themselves, so that made sense.
And another thing with them too,
they had held off on that for a long time. They'd had a lot of offers, and the dudes in Humphreys McGee and the jam band community is what it is, and I've been a member of that community for a long time. But those guys, they all look like me. I mean, they're like early 40s white dudes from the Midwest, like look like we could work at an accounting office or something. And so with that, I mean, it was something they hesitated at for a little bit, and I haven't even had a chance to talk to Joel about that, but yeah, I just saw that announcement and I was like, good for you guys, might as well. And they've done well, like with the beer that they have. There's a brewery out in Denver, and Joel was telling me that they sold a significant amount of that. So that's
Is CBD in it?
No,
or THC.
No, it's just a beer. It's called Nothing Too Fancy,
beer,
which is one of their more popular songs. And at the New Year's run that I went to at the end of 2017, at those three or four shows, I mean, they had sold a significant amount of it, and good for them. So, all right. So if you guys want to check out what Jay and Danielle do, you can go to HempHaven.store. You can search Instagram, just put in HempHaven. I see you guys have some different pages for your other locations, but there is a main HempHaven one.
Our HempHaven is HempHaven KC.
Yeah, and that's the one we followed. If you want to follow us at Startup Hustle Podcast, if you're interested in a cannabis startup, this could be a good place to start. We don't really, that's obviously up to you, but I'll tell you, I feel comfortable with Jay and Danielle being able to give you some straight up advice and input about what they do. I'd like to do a follow-up with you guys at some point. I'd actually like to come see what you guys do.
Sure.
Actually,
Are you coming over tonight?
Maybe.
All right, field trip.
Yeah. So
I would love for you guys to come to the farm and actually.
Well, that's
see it.
what I'd like to see as well. And I talked to my friend up in Illinois about that as well. I was supposed to be in Denver last week to go see the Humphreys McGee shows at Red Rocks, and with that, I was going to I would like to do a whole series of things related to cannabis and the business. I think it's a
booming industry.
It is a hot topic right now, and it's just And by the way, you guys are here because your peers recommended that we contact you. I had made a post in a local startup page, and several people said you need to talk to these folks.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
That's where my outreach came from. If you were wondering, I probably should have clarified that maybe. But
that's
yeah,
really
so
awesome.
there was quite a few, and we're trying to branch out the subject matter here. We have a soda company coming later today and different stuff like that. So, once again, check them out.
Well, that's great. That's great. And if I could just interact one thing for any of the listeners that are out there that are looking to get into the cannabis industry, there's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of places that you can go with. But based on our history, based on our product line, based on our business plan, we really think we have a lot of good things to offer our people. We have a lot of education. We really set ourselves apart with the education aspect of it. So if people are interested, we'd love to talk to them.
Yeah, I can tell. HempHaven.store. See you next time, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.